What's going on, guys? And
Rubbish.
welcome back. Man, I'm gonna kick your ass. Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Kingdom Hearts Union Talks, where, as you can tell, we like to talk a lot of mad shit, but we keep it real. So, welcome everybody. Thanks for listening to us, and apologies that this podcast has been delayed. A few times was my fault. A few times I'm gonna play Badger because he's a piece of shit.
What the fuck did I do?
I don't know. I had to blame somebody. You're the first on the list.
Just blame Prop. He's not here.
Fine. I'll be off in the corner crying. It's okay.
It's okay, man. Aaron will come sit on you as a chair, since you're short.
He's very short.
I saw the.
Trying to steal my wallet too.
No, I saw his pool video where he took his cat out, and I was like, you know, in a video, if we didn't know that he was short, I would think that he would be at least almost 6 feet tall.
Who, Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron.
I mean, he looks short.
He looks short as fuck, bro.
I know, but then like when he started coming back, I was like, damn, he is short. He's just fluffy-ish.
Just
I don't know. But
you're the last person to talk about someone's fluffiness.
hey man, I admit I'm fluffy. I'm fat. Shit. I don't care.
Just more to love.
Exactly. More love it. Oh, okay. But anyways, yeah. So a bunch of things has happened in between the last podcast and in this one. And this podcast is going to be a little shorter than the usual ones because I got something to do afterwards. And yeah, I don't want
To be
to.
fair, it's not like there's been a lot of content to discuss. It's more the lack thereof that we'll be talking about.
It really hasn't been much anything exciting. I mean, we did get like a fresh new KH3 trailer, but I didn't really feel much excitement out of that.
When did the trailer come?
A couple hours ago.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait.
That's
not
really
much, though.
spoilers you can get. It's just gameplay.
Yeah.
Just
I
focus
think I'm
on
gonna
the
just stay away. I think I'm not gonna watch any more trailers until it's released. Just play it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. A lot of people think that there's like way too many spoilers out already. I'm like, I don't even think there's enough.
I don't
Nah.
think they've spoiled anything. It's more of they've given like those little
Teasing.
tiny, like, split-second teasers, I guess you could call them. There's nothing really spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what have we been seeing? Gameplay, confirmed characters, confirmed worlds, here and there. I mean, that's about it. I mean,
What we see like this tiny little snippet of Darkseid throwing around Aqua. It's like that could literally be anything. I mean,
It's nothing like plot
it
heavy
is.
that shows.
It is Kingdom Hearts, people. I mean, literally anything that we see could be completely different to what is actually going to be in the game. So.
hmm But other than that, though, they said that there was supposed to have been a live stream today, and then they canceled it until Monday or next week.
I don't know anything about it. Not
Yeah,
sure.
I had seen a tweet. Somebody said, but I don't know because there was like mixed tweets going around saying like, oh, it got canceled, or it's not happening, or it was all a bunch of lies. It was just like, I don't know. It was anything. Like the only thing I actually saw that was legit was the 1 minute trailer, and that's about it.
Which that was okay. I mean, it wasn't spoiler heavy at all, or there's no spoilers. Period. I mean,
Nah,
it's good to see that they actually got Tangled voice acting in the
English.
game. But yeah,
in English.
that's like one of the last things they do in development. Maybe they're done with that or close to it. So
Well,
But,
was
I mean,
okay.
I'm read on. Someone commented like the ratings already there for the game, so that means that final product's basically been done and sent off.
The game
Cool.
hasn't gone gold yet, right?
not that I know of.
Okay. I think everybody will rejoice once they get that tweet or something. Game's gone gold, guys. It's official. Release it.
We're what 96 days away, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
No,
Hey, January,
we're at
what?
90 days. I don't know. It's about 3 months away.
Yeah, it's not that far away, which is awesome.
What's the exact date again? It's January.
The
29.
29. I'm gonna have to see if I can get off that day. Just to play the freaking game.
I'm off for that.
I've done that.
I'm off that whole week.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, I got the new job and everything, so you know, I
Yeah,
gotta.
it's a little harder for you. So.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks.
What you should have did is as soon as you got the job, you're like, hey, I like this job, but let you know I had a previous engagement already for January.
thankfully I can just stream that shit the
Oh my
whole day.
I mean, that's what I want to do. Is I want to stream it all night once I get my hands
That's
on
what
it.
I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah, as soon as that thing drops.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be quiet, busy, playing it, or if not, some people who are unfortunate are not gonna get it, and they're probably gonna be watching.
People will be actually tuning into a stream of that, like as soon as it launches. People will probably want to be playing it for themselves, and the people that don't have it yet probably don't want to be spoiled. So I don't.
Probably.
It's gonna
Well,
be tough to
streams
avoid
are
the
gonna be-
spoilers. For sure.
Oh, I know. Especially the 4 days that JP gets it before us.
Well, time to move to
They have
Japan.
to.
Anybody importing a copy?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna break and watch some stuff in Japanese. I can't help myself.
I probably will too, to be honest.
I've thought about it, but I mean, I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what the hell they're saying. So I don't know.
Like, you won't know what's being said, but you'll see if someone gets killed, you're gonna
It's like
see.
half a
You
spoiler.
don't
Why
be-
the hell would I want to see that? It's like watching a scene with no context. Like that's like oh cool, something happened. Someone got shot. It's like,
Somebody got shot.
hey man, Zigbar uses those.
Oh man, key beamed. Somebody got key beamed.
Or shot somebody.
Headshot. So I don't know. I'll probably be like popping and just be watching all of these spoilers and whatnot. I mean, you know, there's gonna be Japanese streamers most likely
Yeah.
doing that. So that'll be fun.
I had a question for Ice though. So what do you think about all the new content in the game?
Oh man.
You want to tell us that story?
We got some devastating news, guys.
I don't think anybody's gonna be devastated, but yeah. So I decided to officially quit K-Hux, and within even before like talking to you guys like in Discord and in the podcast, like me and Prop have always had conversations through Discord, and like I've always for like the last few months I've been unhappy with the game, and then like when I started making content for it on YouTube, then I had stopped because I felt like the game was getting to like a shitty point. And then like around anniversary, I was like, you know what, I'll start making content again. And then it got shitty again during the fucking anniversary. I was like, oh my god. And then since then, it was pretty much on a downward slope for me, and it was just kind of like, I think I'm gonna quit. I just don't know when, you know. And it's just, I like the game so fucking much, and I was just like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna just chill. And then I felt like the game went up again, and then it's just now it's just at a certain lull, and I was just like, I feel like right now is the perfect time to jump out. Just the game is mainly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the game is mainly tailored around PvP right now.
Oh, 100%.
There's
That's
literally
exactly what I said in my video. I picked the perfect time to start making 2 videos. But that's literally exactly what I said in the video I made. It's like, did PvP kill Cucks? Which, in my opinion.
yeah, and it's funny
it did.
because we've had conversations like when the trade system first arrived. That was the first anniversary, right?
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
So I remember when Monster D-Face was making content for the game, I was in his stream a lot, and he had mentioned that he didn't like the trade system. And at that time, the way I looked at it, I was just like, I think the trade system is amazing because what's happening is that it's going to take old medals that you never use, and it's going to make them relevant again. So
Mhm.
we went back and forth, and he was able to see it from the beginning, like this is going to ruin the game. And you know, one day, like I told you guys the story on the podcast, I'm streaming, I got crazy ass fairy stars set up, and then like my characters are doing 1 damage. Nova does 1 damage, and it just hit me like, what the fuck is going on? And then it's just like everybody in the chat was like, bro, you need ground, you need air now. This is the way it is. And I'm just like, no way. Like the game is really taking a turn now, because imagine spending $200 to get Seth or even Key Art 19, right?
Mhm.
And you pull it, you get all these trait medals, and you don't get not 1 ground trait, not 1 air trait. And it's just so shitty, bro. You spend all this money, and I mean, I never recommend somebody spending that much money on the game, but if you do, you're at that point that you have the RNG that you have to worry about, and you might not get the traits, and you still might not even be able to be competitive, and that sucks, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's a shitty feeling.
shit, bro. Like, look at was it Kex Plus, right? I had like 14 trait rolls on her, some crazy shit. I didn't get EA. Luckily, you don't really need EA on her, but
Oh, me too. I had like good 20 traits and I haven't gotten EA. But yet, my Xion got EA on trait 3.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Or Aaron gets EA on everything.
Except
it's,
for Coffee Battles, we only have like 1 EA copy a little bit.
I just also felt like, you know, at this point, what's the point of spending any type of money in this game, right? Like, you get the
God, no.
medals, and you might not even be able to compete in PvP. You might not be able to be competitive in Kali at that point. And I used to love Kali. Kali was always my favorite part of the game because I
Same.
felt like it carried the content throughout the month. Because
Yeah.
they sprinkle a little content here and there, but then we had Kali. You can still spend an hour or two playing Kali a day, just grinding, right? And then it's just now you hit that wall so fast.
Mhm.
Yep.
And Prop can tell you, it is never me complaining about I can never get this medal. When I needed the medal and I wanted the medal, I
Oh
got
yeah, he gonna get it.
I got the medal. So it was not like people might listen to this and like, oh, he's probably mad because he didn't get these medals. It was never an issue for me. Like when I
You
wanted
had
a
2
medal,
Sephiroths.
I got the medal. You know what I'm saying? And it just became to the point where I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, and at one point, like when I was actually buying jewels and shit, I had stopped that for a long time already. But it was mainly just all VIP now. Like, and then the constant banners is just banner, banner, banner. And then like the medal that you just pulled 2, 3 weeks ago is no longer valid anymore. It's just like something is better now. And it's just like, fuck, I just wasted all my jewels on this shit. And it's just gonna be a constant loop. And I felt like I'm just unhappy with this loop right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I
And it's
feel
just like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? At what point? And I'm not even enjoying any of the content. High score challenge came out Friday morning. I looked at the high score challenge and I literally said, I don't care. Like I don't even have an urge to do the high score challenge, not one bit. And at that point, I was like, I think I'm gonna quit today. So I'm sitting in my car. I usually get to my job early for parking. I'm sitting in my car just chilling. I open the game up again. I look at the high score percentage medals, and I was like, you know what? This is gonna be the first step. I left the client, the union, right? I was like, I know if I leave the union, I'm gonna just uninstall. I left the union, and then I closed the game out, and I just went to my main screen and just uninstalled, and it was just over at that point. And then I'm like, if I leave it here, I'm gonna open it again. I really don't want to open it anymore. I don't want to be tempted to spend any more money on this game. I'm gonna just walk away, and I literally just haven't touched it since. It's gone, So
Yeah.
You're stronger than most people.
no, I know.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Tell
some
me
people
about
can't
it.
do that, and it's for me like I never felt like I was addicted to it, right? Like I was able to curb, especially when it came to spending in the game, and like I would say to myself, like, I'm not spending on this game anymore, and I stopped buying jewel packs and stuff like that. And I know it can be a serious issue for a lot of people who are probably listening to this, like, fuck, I'm stuck, I'm addicted to this game, I'm addicted to the gamble, I'm addicted to the pulling, because the pulling is like the best part of the game if you think about it, right? It's exhilarating, you get that rush, like,
Yeah,
oh
and as
shit,
soon
I
as you
need
pull
this
what you
medal.
want, then it's just like
It's a great
so
feeling.
exhilarating.
It's
Mhm.
a great feeling, and I'm gonna miss that part of the game, but I'm not gonna miss the money leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
Yeah.
fuck, bro. Like I remember when Axel came out, I did like 22 pulls on Axel and got shit. And that's the worst feeling,
Yeah.
right? Am
Oh,
I
no.
wrong?
Yep.
When you want that fucking medal and then you can't get it, and you did whatever you could to try, and it's just like, you're not getting it. And then it just sucks, bro. But I mean, I would just want to say to anybody who feels like they're stuck with the game, if you feel like you're just like addicted, and you know in your heart that you're addicted to this game and you can't walk away, but you really want to, just fucking do a fresh install, man. Uninstall, just get it out, get it off your phone, get it off any of your devices. I just noticed I have it on my iPad. I gotta delete it from there too. I'm thinking about it now, like, oh shit, my iPad. But just get it out, like, do
And
just
it's not even unhealthy just to take a break from it, because right now you're not missing much. If you were to take a break, you're not going to miss content because we don't have any. So like you were saying earlier about, every time you pull a brand new medal, like if you pull Sephiroth, brand new medal, great medal. What comes out a week later? Kier 19. It's like, okay. So I have to pull this one, and then next week I'll have to pull the next one, just to stay relevant in PvP.
Mhm.
So we're pulling to get stronger, to do PvP, to get tickets, to become stronger, except for a lot of people don't need tickets.
yes.
So what are we doing? We're pulling for the sake of pulling. We don't need them
just
to beat story content. We don't need medals to do anything. And that was basically to sum up a 10 or 15-minute video in one sentence. But what happened this week is like, I'm not pulling Kier 19. Upright Magic is my weakest attribute. I have no interest in spending money to get this medal, though, because I don't need it. What am I trying to accomplish pulling this medal?
And the
I'm
banners
fine in PvP. I don't need the medal to do well in PvP. Just so happens that when I buy VIP on Wednesday, I do third pull. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'm not going to pull nominate because I won't have enough jewels to mercy her, so I'll just spend these 3k on the Kier 19 banner. Hopefully I get something good out of it. Why not? That's my luck. Why not? and I pull it on the third pull.
And,
Okay,
Badge,
well,
you know what's crazy about you though? From when I first met you, like I knew you as a whale, and you've been able to curb that like lately.
oh, it's
Like,
VIP only, and that's only, and I'm even thinking, like, I might skip next week's VIP if there's nothing good in it.
can you imagine like 5 months ago you missing Key Art 19 though? Like, you know,
Oh
like
god, no.
if you look at even Axe Prop, me from a year ago, there's no way I would miss Key Art 19, or at
No,
least
because I
try
mean,
my
5 months
hardest.
ago, I mean, PvP was such a focus, and then it still is. But I mean,
Mhm.
everyone needed to do PvP. I don't need to do PvP.
Yeah, it's terrible right now, and just I don't know, man. And
It's
it
in a bad state. I mean, I'm heavily considering just taking a break altogether. I mean, log in for dailies maybe, but when it comes to doing PvP or raiding or anything like that, I'm not invested. It also doesn't help that Dragalia, which is a much better game in my opinion, has taken all of my time,
yeah,
and I'm currently playing it as we speak because I need to farm. But
Same.
I'm playing Diablo right now.
it's
On
just
Switch.
there's other games out there that have a better system and better structure to them than Cuck says.
And it's
And-
cheaper.
Oh, it's much cheaper. It's so much cheaper. You get so much more bang for your buck.
Ching.
Yep.
But looking at other games, Dokkan, Dissidia, which I've never actually played, but I've heard it's a lot better than Cuck's system.
God, yes.
Dragalia. So many other games have a better system than Cuck's does. But what does Cuck's live off of? Nostalgia. People will pull because they love Kingdom Hearts. They love these characters. So they're going to pull because they have a love for the franchise. Just because the game sucks, people will still spend money on it because they love the franchise. Which is unfortunate, but it's just the way it is.
Mhm.
And if, say, Dokkan had the same structure, people would still pull on it. Even if it was a shitty game, people would still be spending money on it because Dragon Ball Z is such a beloved franchise by so many people.
Yep.
I swear to God, if Dragon Ball ever stopped making new movies or shows or anything, Prop might actually shed a tear.
No, no, but like seriously though, on the real, there was a long time where there wasn't any Dragon Ball anything, and it was just the community loving that series so much that it even came back. Like Team 4 Star on YouTube is a big reason there was a big resurgence in it. So unlike a lot of the stuff with Kingdom Hearts just trying to stay alive with theories and just going dark for years,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of them communities. It's just it introduced a lot of people into that world. So
It's a very devoted franchise. With a
Kingdom
devoted
Hearts could do so much
fan
better.
base.
Oh, they really could.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the one thing I could see Kingdom Hearts do that Dragalia does, which I actually do love the system after pulling the the character that I've been trying to pull for the past this week, but how
Let
they.
me get my salt.
But no, it's just the way of how they increase the rate the more that you pull, so that you can have a better chance of pulling what.
Yeah, here's the great thing about Dragalia. So every time there's a new highlight banner showcase, I mean this one lasts for 2 weeks, which is also the banners last longer, which is nice.
Mhm.
It's not like a 3-week dusk banner, which hey, thanks, Cox.
Rip Aaron.
But
I feel like K-Hux is set up to like make people not pull though. It's just why so many banners back to back?
Yeah.
Why? I just don't understand. I never understood that. It's like, don't you want people to pull from your game?
Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I feel like, and it's weird me saying this because I feel like it's kind of unfair because they were going to do whatever they were going to do regardless. So I'm pretty sure they already had it on the agenda. But I feel like to a point, imagine if the people on Twitter didn't get in much of a frenzy. Like they didn't get as salty when we weren't right up to where JP. If we had stayed the same trajectory, remember how long banners used to last in global before we started speeding up and everything was like a week
Yeah,
for
like
every
about 2
banner.
weeks.
If we stayed at the same trajectory from then and there was none of that, do you think they would have sped this shit up to get to the same story part and banners and everything if there wasn't just like such a huge vocal. Maybe it's a minority or a majority. I don't know. I don't know the odds and ends behind. But do you think it would have made a difference and we'd have banners that last longer?
Probably.
Yeah, because with that big ass jump that they did, they missed out on so much content that JP had. But seeing as how everybody wanted to be rushed to try to catch up to JP
So
when
do
it
you
came to
think
meta
it's the
wise,
community's fault?
I think partly it is.
Well, they did it very smartly. They made a lot of money that way because
Yeah.
people weren't.
No,
going
yeah, of
because
course.
They knew what was coming. So speed everything up, get caught up to JP. That way, people don't know what's coming. That will pull everything. But that's what I was
But that's a
saying.
double-edged sword. But it's a double-edged sword though. At the same time, like you run into this problem now.
But another thing that just like Square Enix with Kingdom Hearts and Cross does is the insane lack of miscommunication between people, especially representatives who speak out to the community about like what things are coming. Like take example Kyo 19. They were just like, hey, it's coming soon. Tweet a couple hours later, like what?
Couple things.
So and here's the thing about, and I'm gonna compare that situation where Global Cucks wanted to catch up so badly to JP. Take example Dissidia. JP Dissidia has been out a couple months longer than the global version has, and not once have I seen such a large group ever complain or ever mention the fact, hey, we want to be caught up to JP with all the content that they have. That's the thing that I love about the Dissidia community is the fact that we are so patient. The communication there, which is the key to just anything in general in life, is there, and that you hear almost no complaints. Why? Because in comparing Dissidia to Cucks, there are so many things that, and it's funny enough because the game is developed by Square Enix.
Yeah, it's just strange, bro.
Yeah, like they could do like so much, but I feel like they are in a way taking advantage of players in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross or who play that game and just do whatever they want. And I was talking to somebody on Twitter and they made a damn good point that the global version and the players who play it are pretty much like the testing grounds for what they can do in the future. Because take example that tier 8 fairy banner, the blue fairy banner that global had. JP never got that. So think about it. It was almost like a testing ground to see how the community would react to it. How much money would they make? Exactly. So it just makes you wonder as to like why, if it's the same company and that it's being successful on, take example again, Dissidia, why can't you do about the same thing in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross?
It's a different team completely, though. I know it's like
Oh, of course.
Seen as publishing it, but it's just a different team. But one thing I like about Opera Omnia, and for the people who are listening who never played the game, you actually get the characters for free. You usually have to play like story content to unlock them, but the cool thing about that is that you're only pulling for their weapons. And from when I played Dissidia for a few months, and I liked it, but I just felt like it was a little too grindy for me. But other than that, like I felt like the pull rates were amazing.
Oh God, yes.
See,
and
like that's
everything
the thing
that
for
you
me.
just said is in Regalia. Like you get free characters, you get free every time I have a Raider fan.
That's the thing for me. Like it's got to be a franchise I'm invested in, and I've never been like a big Final Fantasy fan. I like Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts was like the first, for me at least, was the first game like that wasn't turn-based for like a console. So I never got into the Final Fantasy series. So everything that you guys talk about that being great with pull rates and characters and the way you get stuff, I can't get into it because I've never been a Final Fantasy guy. And I don't know what characters are in the Dragalia game that Badger always talks about that I know a lot of people are playing, but I don't know anything about those characters. So me getting invested in that without knowing anything, it's hard for me to want to jump into it and try. It may be like, it may combine everything I like from the other games and be like perfect, but I have no relationship with that title, so it's hard for me to just jump in and decide I want to play it over Cucks or Dokkan or whatever.
Yeah,
Dragalia is mainly like a dungeon crawler. If you like Diablo type games, you like like just dungeon crawler top down perspective. That's exactly what Dragalia is. So
mhm.
you know.
And
So it's an original IP. It's
Yes.
not.
Yeah, but what they're doing
Mhm.
is that what I like about it is if you notice, I don't know if you looked at the Dragalia Discord the other day, they posted a photo of Ifrit, right? So now when I see Ifrit, I think of Final Fantasy automatically because he's always a summon in the game, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
but he's, I guess, part of some type of lore, like somewhere else, where it's just Final Fantasy doesn't own Ifrit, right? Leviathan, Ifrit, both of those characters are in the game, so it actually pulls on the strings a little bit because people who like Final Fantasy, like, oh shit, Ifrit's in the game,
Yeah,
even though
exactly.
it's not Final Fantasy Ifrit, but it's
Mhm.
still Ifrit. There's also a character Jeanne d'Arc, right? That character actually had a game on the PSP years ago. It was a strategy game, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics. So I look at that, I was like, oh shit, this character's in this game too. And obviously they're not from the same universes, but it's kind of it does have a small familiarity for sure. So the game is really cool though. You should try it, bro.
Yeah, it's a fun one. But like what I was saying earlier, it's like what I like about their banners is one, they last 2 weeks instead of 3 days. But you can pull any of the highlight cards or dragons or characters anytime.
Hmm.
They started the game off with a highlight banner. You can still pull anything from that banner today.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the increased rates as the new one does. Because every
And
new banner has increased rates on the new stuff.
and here's the biggest difference between both Dissidia and Dragalia together against Cux. You don't. The thing about that is that you don't need the biggest, greatest thing to be able uh, to be able to advance in the game.
Nope.
Compared to Cux, where it's like you need the latest and greatest to be able to somewhat compete or be on par or try to be on par with everybody.
No, you absolutely do not.
And
You
you
can
can
make do
co-op,
with like 3 and 4 stars, and you'll be good as long as you level them up.
and you can
Yeah, if
co-op.
you know what to do with them,
Co-op
it's...
the content too.
Oh, I know. I mean, what's great about it is Lost hasn't finished the hard mode yet. We can easily do co-op and blow right through it, and you wouldn't even have to worry about how much difficult it would be compared to the normal story.
I'd be like, Kappa? We
You can
done
literally
already?
Co-op anything in the game, which is great.
And it's true co-op, not this Union Cross nonsense.
I mean, there are friend units that you can borrow people's characters, but you can't really borrow the characters. You kind of borrow one special, which is... Yeah, I don't really use it all that often, but it's nice to have, I guess.
Yeah.
But the missions are so fast, like you might not even end up using it at all.
Yeah, it depends on the mission you're doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, unless you're doing like freaking EX raid bosses and see you in 15 minutes.
And again, they rated. I mean, they added raids to the game too, and it's pretty cool. Like I mentioned before in the other podcast, is that as like Monster Hunter, you got to cut pieces off of the monster. It's more involved, and the fighting actually takes skill with the dodging and the rolling and all this stuff.
And you have to make teams that actually... Because every character has a co-ability that increases
Yeah, I feel
different parts of the game to your entire team.
I feel like what Nintendo did, because I think this is like what, their third or fourth mobile game, because I know the other biggest one is Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, Mario, and Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo is so far doing so well that they even announced how much money they made already in the game within the first month.
And people don't do that unless they have a reason to brag. To be honest, so.
Oh yeah,
It's like in the 20 millions. They're
I think it was like 23 mil,
Yeah, they're doing
which is
pretty well.
crazy.
But K-Hux has never been like a top
No,
earner, right?
never.
When it came to gacha games,
Never.
Nope.
which is crazy because the Kingdom Hearts has like a rabid fan base
Mm-hmm.
that sells millions of copies. So you figure that it would reach out to more people, but.
You gotta understand though the way the game first started out. Like when a lot of YouTubers were first trying it all them years ago. Well, not all them years ago, but when it came to global,
Yeah.
the model then left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths back then, man. Like I know a couple of the Dokkan folk that tried it out that haven't gone back since. Like Living Ichigo used to try to get into it and tried and saw how the pool system and everything was set up and was just like, nah, this ain't for me. And back then, Dokkan wasn't much better. Back then, like it was way more of a money sink. So by
Well,
comparison,
Even the Kingdom Hearts YouTubers like Gamers Join, HMK, Skyward, they've all done a couple of videos on it. Like they probably play it casually, if at all. But
Yep.
it's not like a big focus
Yeah,
or
it's
even
not.
the popular YouTubers that they're not involved in it.
Like
It's,
I think that if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's understandable.
And like what's crazy too is that like even now whenever I pull medals, I like the only reason nowadays that I even pull medals is just to have them in case of a high score challenge, because of course high score challenge medals usually are like the best ones that you want to grab.
Yep.
But aside from that, whenever there's not really content and whatnot, and I like the only thing I really do is just dailies and just like focus on other games. So it's almost getting to that point where I'm just like, I'm getting to that point where I really just want to be like, you know what? Like,
I'm kind of glad you brought that up because that's what's kind of fun. So you to get high school challenge medals, which even if you get them in the top 1,000 or top 100 to get the boosted copies,
Mhm.
there's still no guarantee how good the medal would be.
Yeah.
I'm a great example of that.
oh, oh, with traits and whatnot.
So traits will make or break a medal, and you can get great traits, and that medal will.
Oh, of course.
Traits on a high school challenge medal, you're set.
I think also
Spent all this money or use all these rules to pull these new medals for high school challenge, and then you end up getting poison paralysis. It's like, cool, poison paralysis and HP on my boosted medal. Nope, never using this again. Goodbye.
But I think the main reason for myself I would have to say is just that I want to be caught up with the content. And I feel like at the level that I am now, if I decided, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna put any, I'm just gonna buy like VIP, like do what you do in Badge and just buy VIP for a month. I don't think it would make any difference in whatever power level it is that I am now compared to what I could be in a month from now. So,
probably not. If anything, you might drop 100 spots in PvP. Maybe.
Hell yeah.
Which, oh my god, PvP. So you're not ranking in the top 100 or 500 or 1,000. What do you fucking do?
Yeah,
like, oh, no,
and
you
I
lose
think
a silver ticket.
And I feel like that's why Cooks is not the only mobile game that I do play, because I mean, aside from Dissidia, from Jagalia, and even some PC games like the Call of Duty game, like I'm having a blast whenever I play that with friends, and just like other games that are here and there. I don't think about Cooks whenever I'm playing those games. I'm just like, well, I'm playing this game and I'm having a blast. You know?
Let me ask you something, guys. Let me ask you something.
Demo!
Hi, by the way.
Hey, Damo.
I've been like silently listening for the last 5 minutes. Anyway, like when I do a bunch of pulls and I get my medal, or my guarantee medal, or I do my high school challenge, get my medal, whatever, and I do trait rolls and it turns out like shit. That feels really bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I didn't spend any money on that. How long does it take for you guys to pull a medal or do a high school challenge where you're like, okay, I'm gonna work my ass off, okay, spend my ass off to get top 1,000, and you get shit traits? How many times are you gonna do that before you're like, no, I'm out. I'm not gonna spend any more money to get shit on, basically. Like just put my number in the random number generator and have it return poison paralysis.
So I feel like this question is very loaded towards. So all the.
No,
all
I think it's just a sense of satisfaction. It's how I feel. If you want me to be completely honest, that's how it is. I want to know that, hey, I got those traits finally, and I'm done. It's just
Which
that one.
it's
It's
very
just like that
short-lived
one.
feeling.
Yeah, it's like those 30 seconds of satisfaction is all I want. Or it's not really what I want, but like something inside me is just like, okay, I got it. We're good. Fantastic. Hell yeah. And then after that, it's just like, what do I do now? You know?
Yeah. It's like that part of your brain that needs to finish something because you feel like there's something that's unfinished. You were trying to pull for that medal. You finally got it. So now everything is cool until another medal comes out that you might not pull at like 10, 20, whatever, however many pulls you go down. So whenever that comes back around, it's just going to be stuck in your brain that you didn't pull it.
And I feel like I am going away from the game slowly, because if I'm starting to set myself limits on how many times I do pull full metal, then it should be like, I don't know, like a notification for me to be like, maybe it's starting to get to that time where it's finally to leave cucks, to stop playing cucks in general. or to to stop to put the wallet down, put the debit card down, just be like, just play the game normally. Because I mean, like it's funny because I tell in my videos, I let everybody know like how I feel about the metal, whether you should pull or not, da 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 da. But yet I'm always pulling the metal. Sometimes I feel like I don't have the right to say anything, but at the same time, me owning the metal will give me a slight advantage as to how it can be used, just like little details, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, though, sometimes it's not even worth it.
Well, there's some people in my party that's like, oh, should I pull this on this banner? And there's people in parties say, Badger, is this metal good? Is this banner worth pulling on? And I could say, no, it's not. And then turn around and pull on it myself. But I mean, it's completely different. If this person's free to play and I'm a whale, I can pull the metal and like show them that it's not all that great, which is kind of a dumb way of thinking about it. But I don't really think that way, but I guess you could think that way. But it's like, will this metal help you dramatically? No. Will it help you, particularly in this week's PvP? Sure. Short term? Yeah, sure, pull on it. Long term? No, you can go ahead and skip that. Copy medals are the exception. Like, oh, should I pull the nominate banner? I'm like, yeah, definitely. It's a copy medal. It's the first forward powered copy medal, upright power, that we've gotten in the game. It's tier 8. So 5 pull mercy, you get traits every pull. Yeah, definitely. Great banner to pull on. I didn't pull on it. I'm not pulling on it. Because one, unless I spend money, I'm not going to be able to mercy it. And two, why? Why am I pulling?
You know what used to get me too? What used to get me too was I think my union needs the 21% medal. Because without the 21%, it fucks everybody up when it comes to the high score challenge. So, like in my old union especially, people would be like, I know they would rely on me. Like, we know Ice is going to come through with this 21%. So, like, I felt like if I didn't get it, I would let them down. Like, shit.
Oh, get off my back, people. I'm tired of carrying you.
Yeah, but it was just kind of like, damn, if he doesn't get it, who's going to really pull it? And there was times where, like, I would do good in the high score challenge, but I wouldn't even have the 21% myself because for the friend medal, because people in my party just wouldn't pull it. So that sucked. But Damo, to your point, you know what really stung one time, though? It was the Chernobog event, was the damage contest.
Yep.
I literally sat there all Saturday. I'll never forget this. I sat there just trying to figure out ways to max out my damage, like, completely. And it was just like rolling the shit traits on it. Like, I think I got sleep and like paralyzed, like no damage traits at all.
Yeah.
And that was the worst feeling because you can never roll this character again. And you work your ass off.
The recent high score challenge medal, the super high random multiplier medals, all great medals that you needed to pull to get. And I've pulled on every single one of those banners and did well in all the high score challenges except for Zach. I didn't get top 1000 on purpose. No good traits. Of all those medals, Simba was my best one only because he had triple raid. Jack and Baba, nope, nothing. Zemnis, nothing. Zach got strength, which of course I get strength on the medal I purposely didn't get boosted, so that was nothing. There's no reason to spend hundreds of dollars or thousands of jewels to pull medals to do a high score challenge to get shit traits, because then you're just like, cool, that feels like a waste.
I think what I wanna do from now on, and hopefully to try my best to stop feeding my addiction into pulling every single thing all the time, is to really truly think about it, stop myself, and just stare at the medal and be like, is it worth the $80? Is it worth me? Is it worth me pulling? Is it worth me, just trying to get a quick little video out there when I can easily make an update video and I'll be a-okay?
Like, you could even do your showcase videos because you're in a JP party with
exactly
have all the medals, so you could just showcase.
Yeah, like I'm not. I know that I'm not the only one, because we have. I mean, my party, my JP party, one of the few English JP parties. Not everybody in there are whales. It's a mix of everything, even free to play players.
Right.
And I know that you know if I'm not gonna pull it, I know that there's gonna be somebody else that could potentially pull it, and I can ask them, be like, hey, can you share so I can show it off, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. But I think starting today, I'm going to try my hardest to not feed into my addiction and you know not go crazy ham on this game anymore because seeing Dissidia, seeing Dragalia recently, and how much fun I have playing it without spending so much money, it should be a wake up call to me to be like, hey, I I need to control myself.
Yep.
Guys, the intervention's working.
Lost to what you said.
they-
That's the conversation I had with myself, and it was just like, you got to think about it like this: you're gonna be doing that on a weekly basis because they keep releasing banners on
Exactly.
a weekly basis.
Exactly.
Sometimes multiple times a week. Sometimes they hit you with that quick Monday banner that out of nowhere you're like, oh shit, where did this come
Like, damn it, bitch! I'm ready!
from? Look like it's just out of nowhere, like, oh shit, there's a new mechanic in the game, and if I don't have this new medal, how do I drive my content on my channel? Because I can't even talk about it because I don't have the medal, you know. And it's just kind of like, for you really have to look at it like that. Like, this is gonna be a weekly fight. Is it worth it? Should I just walk away, or be completely free to play?
I
Exactly.
don't want to spend this whole podcast hyping Dragalia, but that's one thing about it. Is I can
We're not
guarantee
sponsored,
you
by the
there
way.
there will not be a new banner until the 15th. There was only ever one banner up, which that's one thing I do like about Cux is there's always kind of variety of what you could pull for.
Hmm.
Instead of saying a banner that you really don't want and just sitting there waiting for the next thing. But the good thing about the Dragalia banners is you can literally pull anything from the past. Like, there are no exclusive medals that aren't in the pull system. Like
So you can take your time with it.
That you can't pull tier 8s in Cux.
Damn it.
Like Riku Replica, you have not been able to pull copies of that banner since April.
God, yes. Even JP's is in the same situation. Like, the only time that I think both versions of the game were able to even pull it was either, well, I guess for Global, it's either through random pulls or if not,
It was our
copy
anniversary
banners.
banner.
Yeah.
Because we don't get copy banners. It was our anniversary
Mhm.
giant pool
Mhm.
with Kier at 16 and whatever else was in that banner. That was the only time.
But
we
you
could
know,
pull
one
them
of the
out.
things, and one of the things that makes it suck and makes you want to leave a lot more is the fact that if you pay for it, VIP is one of them things that makes you be like, why am I even really paying?
Exactly.
This much.
That's exactly what I thought about the Global version. Like,
Because
yeah.
in reality, true, you're getting the discount on jewels, but by the same token, and I guess that's why I enjoy it with Dokkan a lot more, is because I'm not constantly being hit with the, oh, if you don't buy the VIP, then you won't be able to farm all of these events for these free to play medals and stuff to your heart's content. Like, that would hurt me to my soul if Dokkan started doing something like that. Cause I ain't gotta put towards, I gotta put no $15 towards nothing extra that I can do. Anyone can do. Like, Damo can pick it up and farm some stuff. Badger can pick it up and farm some shit. Or you can whale and get some LRs and do some more farming for some extra hard shit. You know, it ain't got this other paywall behind it. And I feel like that's one of the things that if you're a whale or you spend a little bit more money than free to play do, it makes you want to be like, is it really worth it if I'm not really getting that much more? PvP ain't that big of a deal anymore. Because, like, to be real, I was kind of thinking on the same lines that Ice was, because I'll wait till like the last day to buy VIP, and I've been real high in PvP for the most part whenever shit's about to reset without having to buy it. So in my head, what exactly am I buying it for?
And most
I
of the
don't
time,
need to
VIP
try.
medals and shit too.
Yep.
When was the last VIP medal that was really worth anything?
Invisible.
Invisible, yeah.
And then guess what? I rolled shit traits on that too.
Same.
I have never used that medal ever.
That's what I've been saying for a long time. It's like if they actually made it worth buying, they would increase their sales exponentially.
Hmm.
Because what are we buying? 2 gems or 2 of each gem and some mirrors and brooms?
Hell yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
need mirrors. You don't need brooms. That's so a year ago. Yeah, those were great a year ago.
We don't need SIDS. We don't need the XP medals.
We don't need any of that crap.
Preach,
Oh,
Coda,
okay.
preach.
What they should do is the
This
trait
new-
medal. Just make a universal trait medal.
Oh, that'd
This
be
way,
lovely.
that'll-
That would be interesting.
That would be amazing because that medal that you like, let's say invisible, like I see that medal kick my fucking ass in PvP all the time, and I'm like, damn man, if I could just reroll
Mhm.
traits on this guy,
Or a Riku replica, since I can't pull the fucking metal and have shit.
yeah, or even that, or like even if you had it and it's just like, yo, let me put these trait medals to this, and just I never once they released the trait medals and I saw it was character specific, I was like, this is fucked because it's
Yep.
gonna drive all the content.
Why not do the same thing as they've just done with fairies? Why not make like a tier exclusive trait medal? It's like, okay, this is your tier 8 trait medal, so if you
That
want
would
to
be
use
amazing.
it,
Yeah, why don't you
Mhm.
add that to
Relevant
PvP so people will
trying to
actually
use it.
care to do PvP?
yeah, I mean,
Not only
chucking
that,
in
they've
like,
added a couple mechanics recently, like combo and that have really ruined a lot of people's PvP experience. If
Yeah.
you don't have super burst, you're not beating anyone that does have it. Period.
Now with KR19, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, just wait till the next one.
I mean, I actually have
but yeah, there'll be more and there'll be more.
multiple
Like
packages
eventually
that
it'll
brought
become more
that have
common.
KR19, but the people in my party that don't, they've already said numerous times, like, I can't win, I can't be competitive. So, what the fuck is the point?
What does the super burst do in Kali? It doesn't do shit, right?
Well, it acts like a single target.
But what kind of is it doing a lot of damage or?
And,
Depends
no,
how
after
far
a
you
certain
are.
point, no.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
It's
That's-
unaffected by ground to aerial, so at a certain point it will just do one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
basically just avoided out Nova.
Isn't that totally fucked though if you think about it? Like
It's basically a PvP mechanic.
Yep.
Like 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
totally ridiculous, bro. Damn.
Well, that's the entire game is PvP. There's no story. There's no events that are worth doing.
There's no story.
Wait, there's events?
Yeah,
The events on the banners. What are you talking about?
Yeah, if you want events, you load up the game, you click the home button on the right hand side, you click shop, and then you look at the content. See all those banners? There's a reason they call it cucks, alright?
Oh,
It's
man.
like they just released this 5-star or below event, and everyone's like,
Yep.
Who the hell has 5-star medals? Like, I don't have any 5-star medals. I don't know about you.
I know, right?
I don't have any.
The rewards are 10 mirrors and 10 Louis HDLs, so who gives a shit?
Oh, cool. I'm in a shortage of
Their
those.
their big idea to get people to buy VIP is to starve motherfuckers out by not putting like a lot of this shit in vulnerable instances. Like we used to be able to do other shit to be able to get some of this stuff. Now they're taking it out of VIP, so we have no choice but to do this crappy content don't nobody else want to do. Because they know people want chips and dales. They know people want
That's
chips
the
and
only
dales.
reason I did that gauge challenge.
Exactly, and they absolutely know that people like burn up all of their HDLs, and shit. So they put them in there. They got to sprinkle a couple of them in there, and they know otherwise people ain't gonna run the shit. So they always do this shit, and then we end up burning through it with nothing else to do, rather than including some stuff that we could, maybe farm. Like even Ice and Badger was saying it a couple of times. If they had the chip and dales, even if they were a small percentage or like the lowest tier that you could get, if you have to farm them, it's something to do. God damn, like give me something, man.
I remember farming
What's
the
the point?
Moana event. Remember that? Like farming all of that, doing all the Moana constantly, and it just gave me content. Whether you like it or not, it was just a lot of
Like
content.
actually farming something to make you strong. Like, hey, guess what I'm doing right now in Dragalia?
Well, that was that's a sweetheart based event all the way back when. It was like, okay, if you want that initial one, the tier 2 medal, go ahead and get it, and you can actually guilt it as well. But then there's that huge step up as well of that other, like the literal sweetheart base medal where he's transformed back to normal, which is a functionally useless medal. You can't guilt it unless you spend 6 Mickey and brooms, but it's something to achieve and try for. I was like, I gotta get up every day and try, and I guess there was no 0 AP back then either. I was like, all right, shit, how am I gonna beat this event? And it was something to work towards over the week when there was nothing else to do. It was like, what actual content
That's why I
to do?
really liked Coliseum. Was like it was content to do when there was no content to do.
Until you reach rank 1, and you were just like, oh shit.
Hell no, I
And
wanted to
then
complete
they-
that shit. I mean,
And
I
then they
did
decided to
rank one,
hit
but then
that
I was
wall
like, okay,
Yeah,
in there.
I want
bad.
to actually complete.
Now this is where I disagree with you guys. But yeah, go on.
Like I actually wanted to complete Coliseum.
I liked it too, honestly.
Looking back at yours, like in the past, I don't think anyone had completed Coliseum to that point. Like all 22 or 23 tiers, however much it was at that month.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I want to see if I can actually do this. And there were like 3 people that month that actually completed the entire Coliseum. And I was
Which
like,
is insane. I remember when you messaged me and showed me that. I was like,
I was
how much?
devoted into doing that. Like I really want to complete that goal of mine.
I was like, how in the hell do you got that much time to be doing that shit 23, what, I don't know, 1,000 times or some shit?
Doing like 3 or 6 rounds at a time and 1,000 rounds per tier up to tier 23. It's like, yeah, it took a while. I mean, I was basically just
I
sit
can
back, watch
understand
Netflix
that.
and do Coliseum. Like, it was a personal goal of mine.
Yeah.
What personal goals do I have in the game now? Nada.
It gave you something to do. It literally gives you something to do when there's nothing to do. But I can understand Damo's point of view of saying it wasn't necessarily a bad thing that they did it that way, because there's a lot of people who didn't have the time to sit there and grind Coliseum. But by the same token, people like me who, maybe want to do a little bit of a stream, and I don't really have to think and just put myself on auto, talk to the chat while I'm doing some Coliseum, it was dope. You can kill hours doing that shit. Now you hit a certain wall and you can't really do nothing unless you got air and ground, maybe some extra attack thrown in there.
When I really knew that it was time to go away from the game, when I looked at the game and I was like, I haven't done Kali at all. And there's hours left, and I didn't touch it the whole month.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
my Coliseum setup is insanely powerful too. Like I have EA ground strength on every single medal.
Well,
I mean, I can get top 100. I ain't getting top 10. Like I can't advance past round 17, like round 800 or something. Like, there shouldn't be a point where you literally cannot go further in round 17. Otherwise, why do you even have 23 tier?
Exactly.
Yeah, what happened to me? I got to tier 17. I was like, oh, I'm about to blow through this shit.
Everyone now is just like, okay, got one gem, I'm done.
1 damage.
I think, all right. To give the contrary view, like I think that's the sort of mindset of it's a thing to be completed. Whereas I always saw it as like this is literally just a power ranking. It's like, okay, you're going to climb as physically high as you can, and then that's your stopping point. You don't have to complete it. It's just where do you stack up, and that's why when they rebalanced it, I was like thrilled. I was like, okay, that's great. Takes away the time component and just leaves the power component. Like I understand you guys that want. Yeah, but PvP is a different sort of beast. It's like, okay, you have the poison paralysis sleep aspect behind it. You have, obviously, your medals much more single target. Yeah, no,
it's more strategy based, but
there are
down to who is stronger.
There are more variables you can't control in PvP to challenge how strong you are versus in Coliseum, or if you want to take it, since we've been going the Dragalia route, if you want to take it the Dokkan route, it's like the super battle roads or the virtual battles where boss fights have super high HP and they deal ridiculous damage to you. And the only way to really get through it is to either have a team that is like filled with stuns or ultimate utility, so everyone is able to super and do all of this crazy shit, or just power straight through it if you're well. But there's ways to do it on both sides. Granted, the game is built in a way that sets it up like that. Cucks isn't necessarily a game that the mechanics are set up to where you can have all this extra shit thrown at it and do all this extra stuff. Like transformations me and Damo have talked about before would be really dope on a Sora medal. Like a Sora medal that could go into each drop would be dope.
Sick.
Yeah.
Without even joking, like what mechanics there is, you buff, you debuff, attack. That's it. That's literally, unfortunately, it. Like it's like, I don't know. Like as I've been expanding and playing different games, I'm like, man, it's got a pretty face.
Got a pretty face, girl.
And Damo, picture this though. Like picture this for everybody. You do 2 banners. If they really want to do like a bang for Kingdom Hearts 3, they could do a Sora medal that transforms between drives and a Xehanort that goes between all the different ages that he had throughout the games.
100%.
And one could be the upright and the other one's the reverse. That would sell like hotcakes if they did that. But the game's mechanics aren't built up for it.
Literally not built that way. They'd have to really fundamentally change a shitload about how the game works to make that happen, and they're not going to do that.
Why didn't they just raise the tiers though? They could have just raised tiers. Stop it at what 7 and just keep going up. Because at one point when
God.
Kyrie came out, it was just like, oh, she does it all by herself, right? She buffs you completely all by yourself. So everybody was like, all right,
Because
here goes a
they
here
shot
goes-
themselves in the foot though. They can't do that
Yeah.
because the Kyrie EX Plus
Go
is
for it.
like she overstacks stuff. So
Yep.
even if you roll extra attack on her, doesn't matter.
No, before her, the previous Kyrie, right before that.
Uh-huh.
Remember when she got everybody to 7 or whatever? Or even, well, I guess even with that, with EA, that would have buffed you all the way to 4. Let's say if they raised it to 14 tiers, you would have been at max anyway. Yeah, so.
Kyrie EX Plus would have had to be 14 something, or they would have had it to add a completely new mechanic to her, outside of what they added with the guilt bonus and overwriting people's stuff. It would have had to have been, because to a point it just gets ridiculous. Like, what are they gonna add next?
Super burst.
Outside, I mean, like for buff purposes, like what buff are they gonna add next? Like, what can you add next? Is a buff?
From my understanding, you can't go any further, at least in the negative direction, than -7, because we're already at like a negative, like okay, general defense, we're already at -90, I think. General defense at -7.
Mhm.
You can't go past -100. So
Yeah, you really
we're already
can't.
bumping up against. We're bumping up against what you can like physically hit. So the buff cap can go up, as in like you can go up to +10, +13. But the way they literally designed the game, you can't go any further than negative, what have you. So if they, I don't know where they can go from here, unless they literally rejigger everything to be like, all right, well now -7 is only equal to -50%, and that would piss everyone off. To be like, hang on, the medals that I had today are dealing less than they did yesterday, because you screwed up forever ago and didn't plan ahead.
Yeah, they would have to give everybody the medal for free, straight up.
Yep.
Or they'd have to buff medals to the new current cap, which would invalidate the entire thing, right? It's like, okay, well, let's say -7 is now 50% and -15 is now the new 90%. Well, to make it even, your Kari now does -15.
Mhm.
So that it balances out, and then
They
there's
would
no
have
point
to do
releasing
too
medals
much
because
that they're
we already
not
have
ever going to do, and it would basically be
No,
impossible to
certainly.
do without pissing off everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what was funny is I kind of hated mobile games up until I started playing Cucks, which I kind of stayed away from playing anything else besides Cucks because like I don't have time, I don't have the resources to play anything and actually get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So Prop took or spent a long time trying to get me to play Dokkan, and I finally started playing Dokkan, and I was hooked on it.
He was up your ass trying to get you to play. Now he's
Oh, yeah.
now he's
And I
up Damo's
played
ass.
for it.
Well, Damo kind of just slid in there on his own after I pushed it. He been secretly on Sly, been playing the shit, and ain't told nobody.
And so, I mean, I was hooked on that. Then I was looking at like how different the games are, and I was like,
Yeah, it's
Wow.
like your eyes get opened up, like, whoa,
it's
what
like,
is
so
this?
This is what a well-structured game looks like.
Or not, like there's no RNG involved, pretty much. Like I remember one time I started playing the Naruto game, and I was
Mhm.
like, it feels so good to like just use the character you need to do and do their special attack, and not have to worry about anything proccing. It just works, like in Kingdom Hearts before like everything was maxed. Now when you had just like AB4, like fuck, I gotta wait for that to proc. Like remember doing the high score challenges back in the day and like fuck.
Oh,
before
Lord.
they just
God,
proc,
I remember
Second chance having the proc?
Oh
or even
God.
Kali,
the
or
first high
even
school challenge that I actually got top 1,000 in was the Benita's Remnant. Sorry, I can't talk today. Was I spent hours, used so much AP on this high school challenge, waiting for second chance to proc, trying to do the regen on the enemies, trying to just get a little bit of score each time. It's like, okay, I got like
Just a little bit.
950. I'm like, I got top 1,000. That's awesome. And now it's everything is a max skill. Second chance 4. Don't have to worry about anything proccing. No one uses skills that don't have 100%. So it's like when Coliseum has AB8 Lux Plus. It's like, cool. No one's trying for that. But now they have those months that have AB8 SP2 like this month. Everyone's like, okay, well, yeah, I definitely need that. They have so many things in the game that no one cares about. It's like, non-max skills, take them out. See, it's take them out. Like, there's no reason to have them in the game, but yet they still push them like crazy.
And I would like to see the
This-
data on the avatar.
skills
boards.
in an avatar board. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, like, do they see it? Like, fuck, nobody's buying this avatar board. It doesn't have a max skill. Are they looking at it and be like, we should stop these skills?
I don't think so.
Probably
I mean,
not.
I
obviously
really
not.
don't. Because if we had to go to the extent and the whole entire community bitch about and like make sure that nobody were to download the game via Google Play, Apple Play, whatever.
People have tried that, and it's like, oh,
And-
download it.
It
or
doesn't work.
Drop the rating.
No, I know that, but the thing is though, if that was like the only way to be able to catch Square Enix's attention, then you 100% you know that they don't really care what it is that like we
Yeah,
think
but-
and whatnot.
It
Well, I
happened
guess some
once.
people buy for the costumes.
This
too,
is the Kingdom Hearts or Union Cross community that we're talking about. People will complain to
People
you know,
complain about tiny shit.
Exactly.
Yep.
They'll complain for the sake of complaining, and nothing will change.
And people want shit. That's the thing. That's the one thing I hate about the Kirks community. And I'm not saying this for everybody because I know there's a lot of people out there in this community that have common sense. But there are so many people that want shit handed to them, and it's like,
Oh my God.
why? Like, why don't you work for it? I don't care what kind of player that you are. You know, I know plenty of free to play players that work for that stuff, and they feel accomplished that they get it. But then you're over here bitching about something that you don't have. It's, you know, kind of
Well,
stupid.
The people complaining currently of like, oh, I don't have Sephiroth, I can't. It's like, okay, are you a whale? Are you free to play? It's like, well, I'm free to play. Well, that's just kind of the way everything is when a new metal comes out. Whales will get it and they'll crap all over everyone else.
Yep.
However, it is very possible in this game to be a powerful free to play player.
100%.
Like Damo.
Damo, what do you average in PvP? What's your average rank?
Honestly, since it's got Sephiroth, it definitely leapt up a fair bit.
Okay,
But
before
before
Sephiroth.
that,
So go back
probably
a month,
just
what was your average?
just outside of 3K, and if I was lucky, just inside.
That's still
nothing
not a
wrong
bad
with
rank, though.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Which
that.
became a, yeah, no, I was very, very happy with that. Which became a lot less important when they moved the cap out for a 1 gold ticket to 3,000 out to 5,000. I was thrilled. I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to work as hard. But
Yeah. That should
no, I
7,000.
think. Sorry.
For a gold ticket, I think it's 7,000.
Yeah, true. Yeah, even better. Yeah, now it's obviously a lot better. Like, which I don't really feel like I've deserved to get it because I did 4 pulls on that banner, got it on the first, and then rolled strength, ground, extra attack back to back on my trades. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'm a powerful boy, which I don't feel like I deserved it. I didn't really work for this. I just happened to YOLO on a video with like, well, fuck, let's go another pull.
Hypocrite.
And very much.
Oh, this better
Just
suck.
Josh.
Someone do a YOLO poll. Oh, well, okay,
Ah, shit.
never mind.
YouTube luck.
Exactly. Did we get
Oh,
rinsed
man.
for 21,000 drills just then? No, thank you.
And
Block
then
my
just
hand.
like avatar boards in general, I feel like they should drop the cost of them because they're really expensive if you think about it. And then you have to buy 2 of them. It's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but then when
Absolutely.
there's, you don't have to, but like when specific banners come out and you want to waste all your jewels on the banner, then you look like, fuck, I needed this avatar board as well. Damn.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. It's like with the non-max skills, they'll throw in a AB7 AP Lux Plus, and it's like, okay, well, it's not a max skill.
Worthless.
Why did you throw this in the avatar board? Unless it has 2 really good max skills in there, don't buy the avatar board.
Some people like the costumes, surprisingly. I never bought
Yeah.
an avatar board for the costume itself. I was just like, I don't care. I don't care what my character
I-
looks like.
Just for the costume, no, I don't think I have either. But there are a couple good costumes that came with themselves, which, yeah, I bought those. But in terms of like just buying one off the costume, no, I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I think I only ever bought like either mail or just the mail board until Terra and Terra and Uncle came along. And I was like, I'll get it both. Then,
They got you. Do you remember if that had a max skill in it?
the skills were good though. Yeah, that definitely made it a lot easier. It was like, okay, well, I think I do want to do of the board anyway, so
Mhm.
alright, that makes it worth it. But like now, I think now is the second time I've ever done that where I bought both of the crows, I think, or no, I bought both of the wolves and one of the crows, and I probably get the second crow as well.
Dude, I'm so mad. I missed out on those two because I completely forgot to buy them. I missed out on all 4 of them. I was
So Dave,
pissed.
I got a question for you.
Mm.
If the aqua board didn't have good skills, say that they were all shit, would you still bought it?
Fuck no.
What if it had one
No
good
way.
skill?
No.
Okay,
I don't know.
two.
It might have had one good score. I can't remember.
One
But
good skill, 2
Google
average, or,
search.
like defense boost skills, or like medium second chance.
let me
But
just tell you.
because
Let
it
me
was
build up the game and I'll
aqua,
tell
would you have bought it?
you.
Simply because it's
I think
aqua.
I think it was both. I think it was like, oh shit. At this point, they hadn't done any reruns of boards. I want to say that might not be true, but I feel like we were early enough on it where they hadn't really rerun any boards, and it was like, just for that sake, it's worth getting Terra and Aqua because I already had Ven through, effectively like the Roxas hair.
But I mentioned this, I think, before you got here, is they prey on people's nostalgia. Like, people are
God, yeah.
so in love with aqua.
JPEGs. That's all we're That's all we're buying. JPEGs.
Like, they're so infatuated by aqua or whatever character. Like, I guarantee you, if they drop a Vanitas avatar board tonight, who's buying it? I am.
Don't do it.
'Cause
Played your
it was
guard.
Yeah,
it
I'd
looks
buy
so
the
good.
shit out of that.
Yep.
I'd buy the fuck out of that. I've been waiting for that.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised they
Look,
haven't
it looks
released
so
that.
Good.
Let's say if you weren't sitting on jewels, would you actually purchase it?
Fuck no.
Well, no, because they usually last like 10, 14 days. I would.
That's plenty of time.
To get it, so. But yeah,
Speaking of which,
I would
one day
absolutely
left.
buy it, even if everything in it was crap. Even if you literally just got the costume for 2,500, I'd still do it.
Gone are the days where I'm just gonna get hype and be like, "Oh my god, I need it, I want it," and cucks and just throw a bunch of money at. Now, Doken, on the other hand, yes, I may still do that before Vegeta leaves. But as far as cucks is concerned, nah, fam, it ain't like that no more.
You really gotta stream that game, bro.
What, Doken?
Somebody who's so gung ho about it, you never stream it.
I don't do it on principle.
Why?
I don't stream myself playing a lot of games or doing any of this mobile shit on principle. Because what I want to be known for is my craft, not for the games that I play.
Gotcha.
So if anybody comes to my streams, they know me for the shit that I make with my hands, not for the
I
other
may be
shit. If
slightly
they come for
biased,
personality,
but your
it's great.
current project is just on point, though.
I appreciate it.
It looks so damn good. I don't know if you guys have catch his streams lately, but man, that flash painting is turning out so damn crispy.
I saw the picture of it.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it really does.
You still ain't shit though.
He's still in Hey, hooks or not.
I mean, he's a hell of an artist, but he still ain't shit.
Y'all can eat a dick. I'm just waiting for him to say it. Okay.
Nah, I'm good.
Man, y'all can eat a dick, man.
Get it out of you.
Nah,
We've been
being
talking here for like
engaged
an
is
hour.
taking that out of me, bruh. Being engaged is taking that out of me.
We've been talking for like an hour, and it's all just been backing on cucks. I want to
Yep.
do like one positive thing, and talk about Damo's summary video, because that was absolutely amazing.
That was incredible, bro.
The hype that it's got, and it deserves so much more hype than
Oh, for real?
it does
No
have.
kidding.
That was a huge project. I know how long he's been working on that, but it was so helpful because how
Way too
stagnant
long.
we ever get story updates. And I never played Key. I mean, I watched back cover a couple times. I never played Key, so there's a lot of the story I was missing out on. It's so informative.
I'm surprised you're not at 10K subs already. For the subs you got, I mean, for the shout outs you got and whatnot.
Yeah, if
I
you
wish
haven't
they-
checked out that video, guys, definitely go check it out. It is rather long. It's like 55 minutes.
But you get to hear his luscious voice for 50
You
minutes.
do get to listen to the Australian accent for almost an hour, so that's good.
I want to highlight something from his video, though. He mentioned in the video how convoluted and confusing the story can be. And when I did it on this podcast, you guys thought I was crazy. And when Damo did it, I clapped. I'm like, there you go. That's my boy. He admitted it. Shit is convoluted a little bit, so.
No, it absolutely
Of course
is.
it is. I'm trying to write a sequel to it right now, and I literally spent a good amount of time last night loading up Kingdom Hearts 3D, going through the theater mode again, loading up 0.2, loading up all the games, going through the theater mode, and like writing shit
So
down.
you're
again,
just
like-
gonna do the entire franchise story in just like 3 hours?
Oh, I want
Or
to. I want to, but I
you
like.
just want to do like episodic? Or... Or you just want
I
to do it
want
all in
to,
one video?
I want to dive into Union Cross a little bit more first, because there's like, I intentionally was like, okay, just say what they told you in the first video. Just say what was presented in game. There's so much shit that they leave hanging there, and that, you know, you have like little musical cues when certain characters are talking. It's like, okay, clear shit's going on here, but I'm like, no, just get the facts out. We can speculate in video 2.
That would actually be a really cool
So-
series. You could just like do the like what we absolutely know, like videos for,
That's
however
what the
long,
first
an
video
hour,
is. That's the
and then
first video.
do a follow up on what you think is going on. Do like
So
a theory
the
video.
follow-ups will be like, I don't know, I was gonna do like a story Saturday, but it's just taking too long to crank them out every week.
Yeah.
Of essentially like exploring one theory a week of like, okay, where could this go?
But if you were to break down every single game like
That'd
that,
be dope as shit.
just like complete every single part of the story, and then theory video on all episodes that you do, that'd be a really good thing to watch.
The Sora de Kyrie. We'll find out in the next video.
In next week's episode of Dragon Ball.
Like I wanted to do a complete saga summary for as long as I can literally remember. Like that's why I was gonna do that before I did this game. Then I was like, well, there are already quite a few videos out there like that, and as much as I'd like to do that, I'm sure it wouldn't get. I don't know. It'd be a lot harder to stand out among, you know, views that are already like videos that are already like that with a few 100,000, if not millions of views, rather than literally no one gives a shit about Union Cross story. So I'm like, well, I can at least try and inform people about that, because I know there's a shitload of story in here that, you know, all those YouTubers you mentioned before, they give two shits about. They, you know, they just don't know, because they're like, okay, they tried the mobile game, they're like, okay, this is awful.
This isn't for me.
Bad taste in their mouth, abandoned ship. And that's what I think, like, they just screwed the pooch so badly when they first launched the game. It was like, okay, you needed 10 poor mercy to get anything in this game, and even when you do, it's like 0 dots, no guilt whatsoever. You're barely more powerful than, I don't know, someone being free to play. It was just,
Yeah.
fuck, they really, really screwed themselves when they launched this. It could be,
I thought that was
like
really
I said
cool,
before,
though.
why didn't it make more money? Like, the player base isn't there. I've been counting the players every single week, and it's dwindling even now. It's really sad.
PvP killed
Like,
cops.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. Honestly, like, it's been going down for a while, and PvP sure shit didn't help. It actually brought people in for a little.
I mean, I
soon-
actually wanted
very
PvP
soon after.
before we
Yeah,
came. It's like I actually really enjoyed PvP, but it's actually because there's no incentive to do it anymore. I don't have the same feeling.
Yeah, like I don't have the incentive to even be in top 100 anymore. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
me
you know,
neither.
I'll be in top 500. I'm cool. Skip one ticket difference is fine by me. It's not gonna kill me. I'm not gonna lose a limb here. I'll be fine.
Honestly, it's to the point now where I just got stacks of tier 4, 5s, and 6s. All you need is 7s and 8s, and you're
You don't even
doing
need 7s.
yeah, just 8s pretty much at this point. And most of the time, the gold tickets, you know, are gonna be 5 and 6s anyway. So you're just like, whatever.
My VIP gold that I got last week, I got
Exactly.
4 5s and a 6. I was so happy, so damn happy.
So it's like I don't really care to do it, and there's not a big difference in the amount because people cried so hard about the rewards we got for PvP and it being so unfair. They made what you're able to make in the rankings so close to each other that it don't matter no more.
It really
like
doesn't.
I don't care that I get 1 less bronze if I don't get in top 500, bro. It don't matter.
Yeah, let's talk about the slap in the face. Like, granted that stream was brief and really.
I'm so glad I missed that. I took a nice ass
Oh.
nap and woke up to so many people being like, man, that was a shit ass waste of my time.
It was like 15 minutes. They did nothing. They basically did a raid, did like a PvP fight, and yeah, kind of showed off Gear at 19. But
And that is coming soon.
3 hours
I didn't
later.
even see the stream.
I didn't either. Yeah, I was
It
knocked
like
out.
15 minutes long. Like, they didn't even
I was
give
in there.
people a chance to tune in. It's like if you weren't already watching the stream, you probably missed.
But I would have even sent the bronze ticket that Global got. What was supposed to get out of that? I would have just been like, you know what?
Nobody
I don't think
slapped
nobody.
in the face.
Seriously.
Nobody cares. It's like, can you just? I mean, shit. Send me a stack of chips. Like, I'll take some. I'll take like 5 chips. I'll be a lot happier than a fucking bronze ticket.
I didn't even check to see how many I had left, but it was very few, bro. It got to the point where I needed more chips again. It was just like, ugh. Why
That's
are they
the
holding
shitty
them
thing about
back?
being a
I
medal. It's like
understand.
you have to pull all these new medals in. For them to actually become useful, you have to use shipping deals on them.
Is it bad that when you said chips, I thought of potato chips? I thought that you were talking about potato chips.
Yesterday when we were talking about it.
I don't understand why they wanted us to do their marketing for them. Like in the stream, they're like, "Well, go get your friends, go get your friends, go go get your communities, whatever." It's like this
How
is
about
meant to
you do
be
your job
your
and actually
stream.
draw people in? Like,
Make
Like
it
that. That's
incentivize people to come in. It's like, what the fuck are you? It was just embarrassing the entire time. It's just so embarrassing. It's
it
like,
was like fucking 15 minutes
why
long
did
max.
anyone have any incentive to watch? Because they're like, oh, come and get rewards, come and get rewards. Is that like that's all, they literally admitting we have nothing
you-
to show off here. We just
Yeah,
want
why
to give
don't
you
actually
in-game
show off
rewards
your game? Like, I should try
in
to
a
get
positive way.
people to, like, maybe download it.
I've gotten people
Like
to play the game.
like a masterclass, or like, okay, any new players come in today, we're going to be covering how to build a setup, like anything to help your community out apart from just watching three. I don't want to be mean, but it's like these people are obviously juggling their time between several different games, and obviously having a job there, so
Like,
they're
I don't
not
know.
like full experts on Union Cross as a game. So they're like, oh,
Or
I don't really
experts
know
on
where
the
to put my
franchise as
medal."
a whole.
Obviously.
Is that how you pronounce
I remember that shit.
They act like they don't know anything about the French. Like
Well,
they
you
don't
can't
know
pronounce
anything about the
a name that's actually spelt phonetically? I got my cat in the background.
She agrees too.
If you can't actually pronounce a name that's literally spelt out, it's phonetic. There's no silent letters. It's said exactly how you think it would be said. Like, obviously, you don't play you don't play the franchise if you don't know who this is. So why are you talking about it? Like, you're a rep for the company that makes the game.
Job, like,
Here's my thing. There are at least, on average, for the main content creators on YouTube who plays your game, don't matter what version it is, but we're playing the game, at least like what, 5 to 7 content creators who talk about cucks, who play cucks, who give advice, and shit like that. Why don't you ask one of us to come do your job? Because apparently you freaking can't.
I've said that a long time ago. They should sponsor the people who are driving the community.
honestly that's the best way to do it.
They did it like when Monster was streaming Clash Royale. They would give him like a dev account and like let him show off the new cards. Let you do the medal showcases with the brand new medals. You just can't compete with that account. You can't do shit with that account. You just have
100%.
every medal that comes out.
Now, why don't they take all the old
Like,
band
expecting
accounts,
you
make
guys,
them dev
expecting
accounts?
you
and-
guys to buy to create content. That is fucking insane. Like,
Just
okay,
think-
if you want to make a new video, which is going to make you what, a few bucks back, you have to spend $50, $60, $70 to do that, and they think that's okay. That is fucking ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But it's
I
just
mean, as
the
much as I
reality.
would hate it because I can't stand the guy, why don't you take your face of the community, give him a dev account, medals to get people to pull because of his videos are positive, but yeah, why don't you actually get YouTubers of any size, big or large? I'm not talking about losses fluffing it.
And honestly, that's why I try to get some of y'all into the Dokkan side of stuff, Lost and Damo, because Bandai tends to take a lot of the people that do the Dokkan and the Naruto, like all of those games affiliated underneath that umbrella. That's why you see a lot of them a bunch of these premieres for games or testing out other stuff because it's under that umbrella. Like, imagine if y'all went to the Dokkan side, got some bigger numbers, y'all get contacted by Bandai, they fly y'all out with some of the other people since y'all already do YouTube content. It's just more people for them to do this for and to advertise their stuff. And then y'all get to do a lot of the other stuff these people do. It's not just under this Dragon Ball umbrella. It's now under the Bandai umbrella, like the Jumpstar game. They had a premiere for that. Y'all could be some of the people that they fly out for that shit, because that's how they do the people that play their game. KHUX doesn't really do that. Like, Cena doesn't do that for the people that play this game.
And guess what? You don't even have to pay the content creators because a lot of them will just be happy to have the new shit, right? And then even if you pay them, you could literally pay them in jewels, which cost them absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Digital currency, just type in a couple keys and you're done.
Beep, boop, beep.
Here, imagine Lost. Imagine you woke up and your inbox are like, here's a code, here's 10,000 jewels, here's a new medal, and the dev account. This is your payment for making this showcase video. You wouldn't be happy with that shit?
I'd be like, shoot, send that shit over now. Let's go.
Exactly, and it's pretty much, if you think about it, for them, it's free promotion, and it's pretty much pennies on the dollar for them.
And it's not like
Yep.
it's not like Square Enix does not because Square Enix, of course, to anybody who doesn't know, is a developer for Kingdom Hearts and Union Cross, but it's not like they don't sponsor people. I know somebody who makes Dissidia Opera Omnia content, and he got sponsored by Square Enix, who is also the company behind that game. They sponsored him to play another mobile game that they made called Star Ocean Animeta, whatever, Star Ocean, and you know, even up to now, he said, he told the community, hey, I've been sponsored by them. I'll be playing the game a whole lot more, and guess what? The guys got into it just because of that. So it just, there's so much opportunity they can do with that.
With the amount of money that this game makes as a whole, the fact that they don't try to grow their player base or advertise it in any way, kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
Because they make a lot of money. I can't remember if it was like 6 months ago. I saw like the amount of money that they make a month.
Cool, Cucks?
Yeah, and it's asinine. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but it's pretty astronomical. And Aaron's only about a half of it.
I was about to say, it was you and Aaron.
Back then, no.
But the crazy shit is they're not even one of the top grossing.
They don't do a good job advertising their brand.
They don't.
Player numbers. They don't have the player numbers for it. It's simple as that.
Yeah, it's died throughout the years.
It's
Like, look at this.
Advertise to get people to play.
How long we've had this podcast already? Have they reached out to any of you guys? Like, oh my god, you guys are doing a
hell no.
job on the podcast.
No.
And if you think about it, some of the fucking ideas we've had here came to fruition.
I know.
It's like every single thing that's come out since we started podcasting.
I swear to God,
Every
if
single thing
if
that's
I
come out, we
see,
call.
man,
What?
even the shit Damo was saying, like a bunch of the stuff, like it'll be like the week before we say it, and then right after we say it, it'll pop up in a banner or something will happen. So I swear to God, if I see like a Sora in all his forms and a Xehanort in all of his different forms, man, like dual banners, some shit, I'm gonna be like, I swear to Jesus, these people is listening to this
I swear to
shit
God, our
and
Discord
stealing
server's
everybody's
fucked.
ideas.
Yeah, and it's not like.
Which one of you motherfuckers is it?
Aaron.
Damn it, Aaron.
What? I'm late. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Hi, buddy. How you doing?
I'm pretty tired. School ran pretty long, so it's been a day.
We get it. You were wailing.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard a bit about that, and I kind of want to pipe in a bit. Like Damo's video for like the entire timeline, that was amazing. Like that was,
Yep.
that was really really good. That was definitely worth the watch. It gave out like a really clear presentation of it, and it was well put together.
Yep.
And I think that I'm kind of surprised that nobody from Square Enix or even like maybe like Glacier or somebody contacted Damo going like, hey, you did a great job on this, or can we promote it, or anything like that. That would have been really cool to see, and it was definitely deserved because for how good it was made. So
No, the
That's,
biggest person that promoted it was Skyward. Yeah, he
I
has
saw that. That was crazy.
thousands of subs and viewers. Like he has a pretty big following base.
yeah, exactly. It's like so. It's like we're getting we're getting Damo out there for that video for some pretty big YouTubers and even like the general community up to a point, and it's still getting out there. But I think it could go a lot further with the right promotion, and it would help promote the game also a lot more, especially before the launch of KH3. It's still kind of surprising that still nothing but crickets from them, from anybody related to them about promoting that. But just waiting to see or just watching to see, like, after this podcast, all of a sudden, somebody may contact Damo, mention that or something.
Well, I've thought about like reaching out to them and being like, look, this is the sort of thing I'm literally passionate about doing this because it's hard to say it without being insulting, but like the game itself doesn't communicate its story well enough, and that's honestly by design. Like it's meant to be obscuring to the person who's playing it, because on a meta level, you're this guy who doesn't really know what the hell is going on unless you lived through the Keyblade War, aka you played Kingdom Hearts Key, which you could only do if you're playing in Japanese back in 2013. I get that it's by design, but people want to know what's going on. Like the amount of people that have commented and said, I literally had no idea any of this was in the game. Or I had no idea
A lot of
King's story was
information there
different
was new
around
to me.
that.
That says a lot,
Yeah, sure.
man. I didn't know half of that shit either.
I was gonna say, if you
Exactly,
make that
so
like
I
an
thought
episodic series leading up to KH3, that would be awesome for the community, and it would probably generate your a lot of views for yourself too, and promote your channel.
Yeah, my constant battle is like trying to make content for Union Cross, like actual like in-game story updates, whatever, in-game like content updates in my free time. Because that takes longer than I think it would. It's like, all right, the Nominate banner's coming out. It's like, okay, make an update. We'll talk about, you know, do I actually think it's worth pulling for or not? Like, obviously, copy metal is good, but let's just, before we all rush out, it might not be for everyone, so make that video. And it's like, it took a couple hours, and I obviously only have so many free hours a day. And by the time I'm usually like done with work, done with everything else, do that video, it's like, fuck. All right.
I think it'd be better for you if you did that episode.
100% agree. 100% agree. And then people go like, "Oh, he's not making content anymore. Where you been? Where you been? Where you been?" Like,
no, you can do it every now and then. It's like if you ever have a day off and you have like an hour or two, just knock out an update video or something. But
yeah, it's
if
more
you
like
made that your focus, I think that would be better for you.
That would be a lot smarter for me. I definitely agree. Yeah, I've wanted to do one for Kingdom, like the entire Kingdom Hearts series, like I said, for the longest time. Just like because people still don't know what the hell Shion is. They don't know any of the stuff. So it's like, okay, just really hammer it down. Simple, exactly.
So much.
Simple to, just simple, nice and explained. Just present with facts in the game and have some gameplay footage behind it, or story footage behind it to back it up. Yeah, I want to do that for forever.
I would love that. Just basically get the entire franchise summed up leading up to the release. I mean, what they're trying to do is they released the videos in JP. I don't think we're gonna get them in English. But basically, the entire story up until this point.
In Japanese?
Yeah, they release like these videos that you could buy.
Yeah, are they voiced?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's basically the entire the entire story leading up until KH3. Because I don't think we're going to get that in English or...
You could do it the way Rob from Comics Explained does his stuff.
Yeah.
That I've posted before. Like, you could do that and it would generate so much shit. I mean, people love the sound of your voice anyway. Like, you got a ASMR quality about you, about the way you speak. It's soothing. So if you did a series where you just kind of, if you did that kind of thing, I feel like it would generate a lot of buzz.
Story time with Damo.
Come sit in my lap.
The only reason I couldn't do it like game by game is because the way I want to do it, where I have like the events that happen simultaneously, I'd want to do, okay, Kingdom Hearts 1, and have the footage of Kingdom Hearts 1 playing as, when Day starts, cut that in, and then when Days moves into Chain of Memories territory.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool, actually.
That would actually be a lot easier to follow.
Yeah, you could kind of link it up to the story thus far collection. Since it just came out with that game collection, like Kingdom Hearts, the story thus far, you can move into that one and use it.
Your own version of it.
Yeah, just like
Damo, have you also heard of Vada Video for the Souls community? Because he does things like that too, where he'll cover specific areas. Like he's done videos and did you notice stuff about particular areas or certain artists behind stuff, like super in-depth detail. He even does like prepare to cry editions of characters where it's like in-depth analysis on one character.
Dark Souls?
Yeah, he does the Dark Souls stuff. So you could do like a in-depth character analysis on each individual like major character like Riku, Terra, Sora, etc. And like make complete separate playlists on that shit with just you talking.
I think Damo should just make his channel turn into like the expert of Kingdom Hearts and just like cover the entire series, cover in depth on all the characters.
Well, even in Dark Souls, like he said, there's like this guy named Epic Name Bro. He does the same shit.
Yeah, him too.
Well, he'll take, because the lore in that game is very hidden. Like you have to find the lore of that game, and he breaks everything down. And some of it is ambiguous, but he's assuming this is what this means, and it's really interesting. And I even watched the shit. So if you do that for Kingdom Hearts from scratch, from the very first story and continue all the way leading up to 3, that should be a hit, bro.
If anything, it opens up a dialogue for you to be able to, like in your comments on a Discord, wherever, it opens up the idea for you to be able to talk about all of these different things that may not be true, but it's your own interpretation on something. You're kind of sort of putting the pieces together.
That's the next video. That's okay. Here's all the threads that have been dangling throughout Key, Union Cross, what have you. Now here's me trying to follow them up, and I could be wrong, but this is what I interpret that to mean. So,
exactly. Well, once it's a way to engage your audience, and if they can talk back, and you have that interaction, then you're winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
It's gonna be very time consuming, and maybe if Cena would appreciate you.
No, okay.
They should appreciate
Like
it.
I thought of reaching out to them, being like, look, okay, this is what I can do. If you want me to like I can literally send them the script. Here's the script, and it's like, okay, if this is something you want to promote on like the main Twitter or whatever, or somewhere where people can actually watch it, then I can retool it however it needs to be retooled. Be like, look, okay, I'm making a few jokes here. Maybe I don't think I swore in the video by design, but it's like, okay, if I'm too critical, whatever, in this point for the sake of a joke, I can maybe
Not do that.
make it a bit, I don't know, make it a bit funnier, maybe like less on the side of it's shit storytelling, more that it's mysterious storytelling, some kind of garbage like that. I don't know. It's like I'm obviously looking way further ahead here than I have any right to be.
It can't hurt.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I mean, what
like
did you lose? Can't lose if you try.
Yeah.
I thought we've like basically ripped Cena apart and Square, or not Square, Cucks apart.
Sorry, Square. You might be losing a whale pretty soon.
But it's like, I want the game to succeed. That's why I'm really passionate about it. It's like, I want people to come in here and have a good time. Because
I mean, I believe me, I do too.
Shit.
Yes, so do I.
Shit. Well, yeah, I think we all do. We wouldn't be making a freaking podcast about it if we didn't. We're not sitting here every week trying to educate the community, going like, this is good, this is bad. For for the $5 per video we get, it's like.
Shoot, what you mean? I barely make like $2 off of this.
I know, it's like $5 is generous. Dude.
Seriously.
Where's my cut?
Like,
I want my cut.
You want the 25 cents? I got you.
Yeah. You're right. Here's your 57 cents.
Awesome.
I was talking about the story video that made $5.
Shoot, the last video I made that was $5 was that PvP rant that I went on a couple days ago.
Oh, boy.
So
no, I mean, I would love nothing more than if people were to be like, all right, this is a fun game, and we're gonna hang around in it, and it's making enough money in a way that we can all agree is fair to all parties concerned, that people are having a good time with it. Like, Prop, you'd say the user experience on Dokkan was a good one.
Yes.
So everyone genuinely agrees everyone's having a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, there are people that complain it has the problems every mobile game has, but compared to Cucks, it's way better than Cucks.
Yeah.
I haven't been as active in Dokkan since Trigger came up, but I mean, I still consider myself a Dokkan player.
That's why I'm trying to tell you guys now to kind of sort of, if you're gonna do Dokkan shit, get into it now, because around December time that Broly movie's about to come out, and if y'all want some critical numbers, some viewership, bruh, go ahead and jump on that Dokkan bandwagon. They're already talking about a Broly cross event for Global and JP in December in Dokkan, so you best be on it and be ready.
Pretty cool.
Like, if I'm gonna give Dokkan a grade, I'm definitely giving that an 8 out of 10. A mobile game. Cucks might get a 6, maybe a 5. Like,
I would be about
that highly because I'm such a Kingdom Hearts fan. If I didn't play all the previous games, it's probably a 2.
And
if I could have one change in Union Cross to be for its benefit, it would be the reward gameplay. Reward actually playing the freaking game. Right now, it's go to the shop, test your luck, roll trades, test your luck. Oh well, you didn't get anything? Better luck next time, better keep saving up. There's nothing you can do to improve that. High school challenges are entirely based around what did you pull, which order did you put it in. Okay, you did well, fine. Like there's no strategy to it anymore. It's put percentage medals in, beat contests, get good medal out. Or does good medal get good traits? Great, then you're a powerful person for the next few months. Like,
well, that's kind of changing up a little bit. I mean, let's be fair to the high score challenge. Especially the last three, and I include 3 when I say this one currently, because this one currently you do not need to pull in order to get the 50 million marker. That's already been proven. So that is a plus side to the situation for that one. You mean you're right on the whole? Anything about that? You're totally right. Unfortunately,
that's the problem though. But that's the problem though, Aaron. They done took the challenge out of this shit. Now, like even if you had a pool before, you weren't necessarily always guaranteed because you had percentage that you could go in there with a decent, adequate, get the medal you need, and then be guaranteed to get in top 5,000 or whatever. Now it doesn't matter. You ain't got to go in there with nothing. You automatically get the ones you get for hitting the points. And whether or not you get any for being in top 5,000 is kind of irrelevant if you get good traits off grip. So everyone is just given this. You don't have to. I don't have to earn this shit no more.
I'm not gonna say that for this one again too as well, because I mean you're right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you're right and overall in that one, but let's be honest with this one. Like the way this one is structured, with the way those enemies are, especially in that last room, people are having problems reaching that 50 million mark. I mean, yes, they are still doing it. Don't get me wrong, it's still happening, but it's a trial. Like, they're having to wait like a long while to even beat one of those enemies. It's not a quick thing. It's not an easy thing. You actually had to make a certain setup to give you a chance of doing it. And it may take you like 10 plus turns to beat one of those enemies in order to get through. Which you'll do it eventually, but the RNG might swing the wrong way for you at one point in time, unfortunately, or it just takes long to do it. So this one, it's not just given. It's not an automatic.
Wait. No, I will say this though. It's fairly easy because everyone should have actual prime by now, and he's a percentage medal in there. So that's giving you percent in there. If people don't have multiple copies, and if you were one of them people that rolled till you got perfect traits, you might have multiple versions of that motherfucker with OP traits on them.
Yeah, but even having one of those,
a bunch of people are gonna pull, and a lot of people pull for nominate.
True.
And I'm sure there are people that threw their shit at that before they got perfect traits. If they got VIP mushroom, it's just a free, easy put second chance on that motherfucker, and you good to go. And from there, all you got to do is do KR19, and then that's 21% added to that, and just go down a particular route, survive 1 or 2 rounds, and then you good. That's literally all you need for that.
Well, I mean,
outside of the VIP medal, that's still a good percentage.
Like, I was meaning more on the lines of like not pulling. Like, you didn't buy VIP, you didn't pull for any of those medals. Yeah, you didn't get anything. You went in there with 0%, and you can reach that 50 million score, but it's a trial. You actually have to work for it.
Yeah,
even if you
has KR19 or
like somebody in your party has it, or it's floating around.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying, but if you did go in there with 0%, not at all. Like I'm saying right now, like, it was a challenge for that one. I mean, you'll be wrong. You're right. You guys are right in this regard. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying this one was a little more challenging overall to reach that score than the previous ones. But yes, on the whole, you're right.
I mean, you do want top 1,000. You want the boosted copy, just because if you rolled shit traits, at least you have 1,000 strength on the shit,
But do I though? Do I want to go that hard for a medal that's really only going to be a PvP medal? It's going to get overshadowed by the next high score challenge anyway.
Unfortunately, that's what the whole game is now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's pretty much, if you think about it, the game is pretty much just a big dick contest. Like, I have EA on this character because if you pull nominate, right?
Yes.
You want perfect traits on her, because who doesn't want a copy medal with perfect traits? So the whales.
I want perfect traits on all medals, but
this is true. This is true, but if I have the choice, do I want perfect traits on this high score challenge medal, or let's say, because you never know, they decide to, throw a wrench in everybody's plan and bring back Riku in some kind of mercy, or he's able to be gotten within a certain amount of pools. Now, like, I would much rather have saved rather than go all the way ham on trying to get this Sora in the high score challenge, get shit traits, then I can pull on this Riku banner where he's guaranteed, and I can pull as many traits as I want to, on top of traits I might already have if I tried to pull them before and didn't get them, to get whatever I want to.
I would never suggest that. You know why? Because they do that as bait. Because, all right, we'll drop Riku right now, and then the next week they'll drop a medal that completely outclasses it. So now you just spend all your jewels on the medal that you try to get perfect traits on. That's old.
Not necessarily. If you were the kind of person that drops stacks regardless, yes, true, 100%. But if you were the kind of person that just kind of sits it out and waits, kind of like Damo sits it out and waits, because he doesn't have he has the capacity, he just doesn't spend on the game to do those types of pulls. He's just sitting and waiting till something's mercied. Chances are, if they do drop something that's better than Riku, it ain't gonna be no mercy. Whereas he's got all these traits, a guaranteed pull on this thing. It's still good. has a really good multiplier, all of this extra shit, and he can get dope traits on it guaranteed, or at least get a handful of what he wants out of that. He's got a better chance.
Well, Damo, if you came back right now, would you pull for it on a Mercy right now?
If Ricky came back right now.
Yeah. Would you spend 15K on him for a Mercy?
Literally depends on my store rolls. If my store rolls really good, then no. If he rolls shit, then yeah, probably.
Okay.
That's a
Fairy
good question.
stars. Like I've been saying forever. Like I just want that medal on my fairy stars to just chop up.
I don't know. It'd be kind of curious to see that one because you have Riku who can do AoE damage and do decent AoE damage at that, and then you would have that Timeless River Sword who can do single target. The option to change that slot would be decent in certain events potentially. So yeah, that's a hard question to get.
Yeah,
like the only reason I would Mercy, like if it was 15K, the only thing that would get me to Mercy that Riku or a second copy of that Riku would be the fact that I still have a few trades floating around that I could throw in them just automatically. Be like, okay, here's a chance to get a second one, maybe with like raid traits or something. But
honestly, I'll tell you what I would love. And I feel like it would make banners that much more tempting for me and people, and I probably wouldn't like hate the way they do this shit as much if they treated the quote-unquote EX's special Nova Bursts, whatever medals like Dokkan does LRs. If they put them in other banners, give them a real low chance to get, but put them in every banner and give people a chance to get them. You have any idea how hype motherfuckers would be to pull off some guaranteed shit and end up pulling Sephiroth in that bitch instead of like the other thing? Like, you know how dope that would be?
That'd be amazing.
The biggest pitfalls this game has, you can't.
I know. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Well, it's a pitfall, but I mean, and you know why they do it too, because you're like, hey, you know what? Like, you only have X amount of time to get this medal, and who knows when it might come back, if it will come back at all. So you better pull now. But yeah, I mean that's kind of crap. I mean, even now we're seeing the Kairi and the Shion medals appear in banners now with a low chance to come out, but every now and then they do indeed pop out.
But why can't they do that with every medal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be even better. You're right. You guys are 100% right. Like if
it's bullshit because it's so arbitrary. Like copycat medals are just like some of them, the tier 8 ones are just hidden from existence. They may as well not even exist. But Shion and Vanitas will drop whenever you feel like it. And even though Vanitas is a tier 7 copycat medal and the other Naminé is a tier 7 copycat medal, she is rare as all hell, doesn't want to drop ever. And Vanitas is dropping more regularly now. It's like, it's just so arbitrary and there's no reason for it. Just have one big
I made mention of that in my last pull video. I was going like they need to change that copy banner deal, because I was like, nobody wants to pull a guaranteed 0.2 Kairi and a second chance 2 on this limited pool of copy medals. We need other things there.
Well, that makes too much sense for Cena.
Permanent copy banner.
Yeah, make it a permanent copy banner with all of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or put all of them also in the middle pool. Like have the ability to get like Lion Pete or like the Bugle Boys or
put them all in the banner and then make an actual copy map banner.
It's like Jesus, yeah, there is a need for that. There's no need for that at all.
And I would love to have a conversation with them and be like, why? Why do you do that? Like,
for that money, boy.
Yeah, but they could profit a lot more if they actually did what the fans wanted, like what the player base wants. Because if everyone's happy, they're more likely to spend money.
Yeah, I mean, which they did it right for PvP and whatnot, but of course that's not the only thing in the game.
I will say this too.
Right now, it's like whales are quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not getting money because we're unhappy. If we were happy, we're still spending money.
Mm-hmm.
And if they made it to the point where VIP wasn't $15 every week, a lot of people would stomach putting a little bit more money. But
God, that one time in the first round,
bro.
Jesus, yeah, when it was like $5 for that 2 weeks. That was nice.
Like, think about in contrast the amount of YouTubers doing gift cards, giving away a bunch of VIPs during that time period. It's $5 instead of $15. Like you could have way many more giveaways that way. That's way more enticement for someone to play your game rather than the $15 window. I mean, granted, in the grand scheme of things, and I've vouched for it on the opposite side, it's not that much money when you think about it. If you have the funds to be able to do it, but there's bang for your buck, and this shit ain't worth $15 every week.
Nope.
Not at all.
And like the last thing that I'll ask, just in comparison, since we've been kind of shitting on cucks, and I happen to be able to see him do this. How is your experience, Damo? This goes to you. How was your experience playing Doke and streaming it for the first time, and how the community from that side came into your stream and that interaction? Like, how was that different for you from cucks?
Yeah, it was really fun. Like, obviously, the player base, the install base is far, far, far bigger on the Dokkan side. And they're happy to see a new face in the community, happy to help, you know, give pointers and advice and what have you. And yeah, it's very different. It's very different indeed. I just don't think Union Cross is on literally anyone's radar except people that are already playing it. Like, I don't think anyone gives a shit about, like, any Kingdom Hearts fan. It's like, I've skipped it for 3 years. If anything important's going to happen, it's going to happen on YouTube. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. Yeah, I think they may as well relaunch the game after Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
They might as well.
Just Union Cross, Unchained Key Union Cross. Just do it again.
But it's
like February rolls around. It's a new update. It's a brand new launch of the game. It's like whatever Sora, the little red phone that Sora holds in his hand in Kingdom Hearts 3 is. That's the new name of the game. Like, literally stress the importance of, okay, the story's going to continue in this game afterwards. There's going to be a drought, obviously, between Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3.5, 4, whatever the hell the new saga is going to be. But if you come in there now, you're gonna get new story updates. You're gonna have the Kingdom Hearts community you can talk to and hang around with. Do something, or the game's gonna die.
Like I mentioned earlier, all the big Kingdom Hearts YouTuber people, even the people that aren't so big, like even like someone like Keyblade Sarah, who has a decent fan base or following, but she's not huge like Gamers Joint. Never talks about games like this. She doesn't talk about the game. I don't know a single YouTuber that isn't a Cucks YouTuber that mentions this game. Period.
None of them play it. They're all fake fans. I said it.
You know what one of the downfalls was, man? Like, I think I know what one of the big downfalls was for the promotion of this game. You know, obviously, I don't think they could have, at the time, done like a big cinematic thing at the end of one of their games. Maybe they could have, I don't know. In the age of the internet, they could have made a viral video and hinted it at the foretellers like they did. Like, imagine now if Cucks, before it came out, they did a YouTube video thing where it showed the foretellers and their keyblades, but didn't tell you who they were, just some vague letters on the screen, and boom, like they posted on the Kingdom Hearts 3 thing. You know, I feel
ending for Kingdom Hearts.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, it wasn't done to like the extent like the BBS was done. You know, like there's a lot of mystery in intrigue into doing it that way. Yeah. And like they wasn't like a big campaign into, like, I didn't even know this shit was coming out. I just went in the stream and someone was like, "Yeah, there's a Kingdom Hearts mobile game coming out." Da 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 da. I'm like, what? I never heard about this shit. I had to find out through somebody else.
Well, it took so long to come to global anyway. Like, people were worried it was never going to come. Like, Kingdom Hearts Key just never came outside of the Japanese, outside of Japan. And
yeah,
then,
you're right.
Like, there was a whole Twitter campaign. Like, people in Kingdom Hearts, like, Insider were, like, really passionately starting a hashtag, like, bring Unchained Key at that time to the West. That was the hashtag that kept going on. And they had to like fight for it to come out. And it's like, I just don't understand how much like they want to build hype around Kingdom Hearts 3, whatever. And they just sort of piss off the community at every single point. Like,
I know, right?
I don't know.
Yep.
The loyal fans of the series are gonna fight, but for the people that aren't really big Kingdom Hearts fans,
but then that's the audience they want to target when Kingdom Hearts 3 rolls around. It's like, you can't have it both ways.
Period.
Yeah.
But I think they've done a decent job advertising it, like at E3 and all this. Like, they've shown off quite a bit of it, but it's not their only current Kingdom Hearts game out there, they could be advertising this game as well. You know? And I think they're missing out on a lot of revenue there. But I can see why they don't advertise it, because I wouldn't either.
I mean, it's probably a nice little revenue stream for them. It's probably a really nice revenue stream for them, just like a little small pocket that they make, but it's probably not enough overhead for them to say, you know what, we should really market the shit out of this. You know?
Yeah,
You might make more if your fan base was happier.
But the thing that's crazy is, like, you can see the care and love and detail behind the game, because just look at the art. The art in the game is amazing. Like, the actual in-game assets is great. It's there. Like, they have the opportunity to go ahead and make this a lot bigger, but it's just, there's a reason why they're just not doing it. And I don't know what it is, but I would love to know. I would love to have a dev on the show one day and just question the shit out of them and ask them these type of questions. It just...
Like, why are you doing this?
Okay, alright. Honestly, guys, if you could, would
really
you,
know.
if you had a couple questions each, you could ask someone working in the community, would you
they probably hate
message those to me?
Yeah, we're right.
Like, honestly, from your perspective, would you, like, seriously let me know?
Yeah,
'Cause,
100%.
I'll think of that tonight and I'll message you.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Tonight or
I would love that.
I mean,
I would
honestly,
freaking-
like, I'll send you what 3 questions each or something, Damo. Like, what kind of?
That'd be amazing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might take me like a day or two because I actually want to sit down and like really think about the question I want to ask them, like what's more important to me, and then we should also get together about that and make sure we're not asking the same question between each of us.
Yeah,
definitely.
Next week and talk about all this. That'd be fine with me.
Awesome.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
I think that about wraps up our 2-hour shit show.
Yeah, I think we've held back a lot of stuff since the last podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, especially myself with the whole addiction thing, I guess, if you want to call it that.
I mean, honestly, this could have been a lot worse. If we wanted to be
probably.
If we had more time, this could have been pretty brutal. But
yeah, which I mean,
have prior engagements that they need to take care of. So
yeah, which I mean, you know, the next time that we do the podcast, I mean, if we remember some of the stuff, then we will go ahead and add on to what it is that we forgot during this session, though. But either ways, though, apologies that it is short, but we're gonna go ahead and end it off there. Thank you so much, everybody, for waiting for this episode of the podcast, and thank you to everybody for joining. You know, Aaron was late, so
Sorry.
so bad, Aaron.
School, man, school. I gotta. I need to make more dollars so I can spend more money on the game, right?
Kappa.
Well, just a
so by
final
game,
word.
you're talking about Regalia, right?
Right. Just a
No,
final
I
word.
was talking about FGO and Dokkan.
Wow.
Oh, that's fine too.
Just a final word for me, for somebody who's actually walking away from the game, though. It's like, again, if you guys feel like you're really unhappy with the game and you feel like you're not making any progress, you just really don't like it anymore, just walk away, man. Just uninstall the game and do what you gotta do. Or if you feel like you're too addicted and it's wrecking your life,
Or just take a break if you need to. If you
Just
don't want
walk
to quit,
away.
you can take a break too.
Keep in mind, this man pulled multiple Sephiroths with dope traits, and he walked the fuck away.
Well, perspective, yeah, I got Sephiroth.
Bro, you have any idea how hard that is?
Oh my God.
Bro, I got a perfect Sephiroth. EA strength. I think.
Bro, it hurts me that it's not on the team for raids now, bro. It hurts now that I know that.
The
Hey,
raid
can
one was
Can I
amazing.
have your account to share with my team?
It was EA and the rest of it was all raid damage.
Yeah, can I have that? Can I have your account?
It was amazing, and it had AB7 Max Lux Plus on it. It was incredible. I'm sorry, Prop, but you know, I'll be right back.
Pop's like, damn, I gotta go well now.
So sorry about that. Yeah, but just don't be afraid to walk away from the game, man. That's all I got to say.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
If anyone has any comments about everything that we said over the last 2 hours, definitely leave in the comment section. But yeah, that's just a couple opinions of ours of how
actual, real, honest opinions, and I know like sugarcoated crap. So.
Wait,
Yep.
we weren't supposed to sugarcoat this?
Oh
my bad.
shit. But anyways,
Keep it a little light, but
well, I mean, somebody's got to say it. Might as well be us.
you know, I don't have that.
I mean,
problem.
I'm about to say, what do we have to
What
lose?
the hell I need to?
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the podcast. And us and the boys We will see y'all in the next one.
Later.
This is it.
Popping shit.